Well, to start November, I didn't have on my bingo card that Democrats would actually insult women and moms, but here we are. It's actually happened. Was that the October surprise? Was there an October surprise? I don't even know, but this was so revealing, and I got to tell you, and we'll have some sound from this, but really what it all means, the visceral, angry, completely organic reaction from women to Mark Cuban's stupid statement we'll get to here in a second. The reaction to it, which is completely natural, like I said, completely organic, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing what's happened. It really is, even though it's anger. You know, we don't fight with muskets anymore. We fight with words. Boy, was this revealing. We'll talk about that, as well as the man who summed it up perfectly. Tucker Carlson was on stage last night with President Trump in Arizona. Oh, yeah, but not covered. No, it's nowhere in the media. No. They're just, a couple of guys talking. No band, no pyrotechnics, just talking. Selling out an arena, 18,000 people. No big deal, though. No, that's no big deal. In Arizona, of all places, battleground state. We'll talk about that. But it is the weekend, and we're into a new month. We'll talk about daylight savings time. That's back. A little feel-good story about what to do with all that extra Halloween candy from the Halloween season, because if you're like me and you didn't get a lot of kids, you got to figure out to do something with it. And I think we got a good story there and some new movies we'll talk about, because it is the weekend. And God, thank God for that. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Wicked Radio. Thanks for finding me. I'm Bill. Downloading, finding the audio podcast wherever you get them. Apple, iHeart, Spotify. It's all on there, and that's going great. I appreciate it so much. And putting your notifications on for when we go live. If you do follow me here on X, it lives as a post after we're live, and on YouTube and all that good stuff. But speaking of the stuff, let's get to it. Well, here we are. Mark Cuban. We've said it before. I don't know what happened to Mark Cuban. I don't know when he turned into what he's trying to do. I don't know whether they have dirt on him. I don't know whether he's just trying to get in with a new administration and he's hedging his bet and he's betting on Kamala Harris to get in because he wants some favoritism and he wants to be in the... I don't know what's happening. But never confuse intelligence with common sense. Because here's a very smart guy, obviously. He's a tech guy, right? He's a billionaire. I get that. He's a sports club owner with the Mavericks. Doesn't mean he's smart. Doesn't mean he has street smarts. Or, and this is what we're getting to, this is kind of like the theme today, understands how people actually work. Well, here we go. Here's the statement from one of the many interviews that he's done in this election season.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple.
How do you possibly make that statement and not think that's going to create a hellstorm? I've seen the theories. I mean, maybe, unless he's like a mole to destroy their campaign. Because this thing, let me tell you, the reaction for this, and you've seen it too, maybe it infuriated and incensed you as well. The reaction from this thing has been incredible. I mean, there are viral movements that happen. You know what I mean? There are things that are like organized. Let's get this hashtag going, or, it's No Shave November or something stupid like that. No, this was completely organic, completely reactionary, and massive if you follow social media at all. And if you're on here, you probably do. Massive, visceral anger from conservative women. And I am here to tell you, even though it's anger, right? Even though it's vitriol, it's beautiful and it's healthy. And it's fantastic that this actually happened. It's a beautiful thing because I think it cleared up so much we've all wondered about over the years. You can look anywhere. Go on YouTube, here on X, Facebook even, for the video reactions from women. Even some that'll surprise you, from all walks of life, just regular everyday folks. Strong, beautiful women that maybe even just moms, the lifeblood of our entire country and our society so far. And some famous ones too, reacting to this. I just cherry-picked this one because I think she has a great reaction. So, Alina Habba, I call her Alina Habba, if you know what I'm talking about. She is probably going to be in the Trump administration. She's one of the Trump lawyers in the lawfare cases that they've thrown against him. She's won a bunch of them, and she's always there. You've seen her a lot, and she's been at the rallies, and she's spoken. Just cherry-picked this one. Here's her video reaction to Mark Cuban, and I think it's a good one.
I'm licensed in 4 states. I graduated college in 3 years. Savage v. Trump. By the way, I could keep going, but those are the cases I win. And your left-wing media and your rhetoric, and you're putting women down. See, President Trump doesn't do that. He surrounds himself with strong women like me. So, Mark Cuban, you can go to hell.
Common.
I'm voting for Trump because I want my daughter to never, ever be around people that speak like you do.
I almost cut her off there. I don't want to get her mad at me. But it's true. But that's pretty typical. Now, she's one of the most well-known conservative women and and she's one of those women around Trump that's strong and smart, not dumb, not weak. So it's a perfect example to play for you as an example. But that was all over the place. And I think it's good. I think it's right. I think it's understandable. And I got to tell you, I think I didn't this whole time. I mean, we're talking years now, and this has been like a cultural thing for years. The whole time, I always really thought when the lefties, which have taken over the Democrat Party, have like really tried to like push, effeminate men and, the pro-women thing, and I am woman, hear me strong. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. But really, I thought it was just playing to the base, right? It's like, men should take you hear this a lot. Men should take a back seat. It's all about the women. It's, this and that, whatever. And I thought, okay, whatever. That's fine. I thought it was just a playing to the base, like I said. It's not. And not till this very moment, today, did I truly understand. And I think we're all waking up to this. It's a cultural misunderstanding. It really is among the left and what's happening, what they've tried to do now for like we're on decades of this. But it all came out with Mark Cuban's stupid, ignorant, misogynistic comment that he made there. And he's tried to backtrack it off. Well, I can't nail every interview. And what I really meant was, no, it's too late. You said it. It's kind of like with the Biden thing with garbage. Well, they tried to like word play it. And what he really meant was, no. We all heard it. We all understand it. And our visceral, natural reaction to it is people are pissed off. And that's a good thing. But here's the cultural misunderstanding. I truly now am fully convinced that people on the left like Mark Cuban, they don't understand most women. What they really don't understand are almost all common sense, regular guys. Because I always try to break it down to a reaction here, right? Whenever I'm trying to figure out a news story or somebody says something stupid in the media and there's like confusion about it, my own mind, just from a communication person's perspective, I always try to break it down to a personal level. And I imagine the situation if it was one-on-one or whatever and how you would take it that way, right? So instead of an interview, which is now top trending in the world and has gone viral, as the kids say, and it's everybody knows about it. Instead of that, imagine you're sitting down at just like a sports bar and you're just having dinner with your wife. And Mark Cuban decides to come up to you and he sits down and somehow in the conversation, he says to you or directly to your wife, right? Or your mom, either one, that they're weak and not intelligent if they said that. Now, here's my reaction. And I have a gut feeling that you feel the same way if you're following me. Obviously, without question, I would kick his ass. I'm not even, obviously. I think everybody would. Like he sits there and he insults your mom and he insults your wife or your daughter. Without question, you'd kick his ass. Maybe you would give him a chance to apologize or whatever. And then it's really on, right? Truly, most men, most regular dudes feel that way. If you insulted a woman in your life that's very close to you that you love, clearly you would do that. Here's the difference, and here's what we know now. They don't understand that. They don't understand the protective nature that dudes have for women, the conservative, normal, regular, everyday dudes have for women. They don't understand that. They really, truly don't. That whole party doesn't understand that. You know who put this into perspective perfectly last night? Going back to this again, was that rally in Arizona. Oh, no big deal. Selling out an 18,000-seat arena in Arizona. Trump and Nicole Shanahan was there. Tucker Carlson was there. No band, no pyrotechnics, no nothing. Just speaking. No coverage, no big deal. Yeah, okay. But Tucker gets up there and he talks about it, and he put so well into words what I'm trying to do and failing miserably, but Tucker nailed it. This cultural difference between the left and how they view women and how we protect women and everybody else and the common sense people. Here's Tucker last night in Arizona. He says it perfectly. In his lead-in, he was talking about AOC, who was referring to Doug Emhoff, who's the second gentleman or whatever the hell he is, Kamala's husband.
But She was at a rally in Vegas yesterday, and she goes, Doug Emhoff is the model of masculinity. Oh, man. Yeah. Memo to any unmarried women here, do not date a feminist man. They'll smack you around, trust me. It's the weak ones you have to be afraid of, but it's the strong ones they're afraid of. Because they know that what they've done and have been doing for decades could be exposed.
Doesn't it make more sense now? He said it so well and so perfectly. Now we understand two things. Culturally, the left really, truly doesn't have an understanding of I think, just basic traditional male-female roles. They really don't, no matter how you feel about that. And number two, now you know why. This whole, like, effeminization of men, the Doug Emhoffs of the world, who's a shining, perfect example. That guy, he's right, too, Tucker. Never trust a dude that calls him a feminist. You can love and support and protect women. You call yourself a feminist, you're dangerous. It's the weak ones you got to watch out for. And he's exactly right about that. There's a complete misunderstanding. You know who else chimed in? Incredible. On Fox Business last night, you've even managed to piss off Maya Musk. Maya Musk is Elon's mom. She has jumped into the fray now. Imagine being her, by the way. You have produced a super genius, one of the richest people in the world and one of the most impactful people in the world. There's your accomplishment right there. But she's also done some amazing things in her own career. She spoke up about this because they asked her about this. Maya Musk talking about the statement, and she goes on to make fun of Kamala. That's who she's referring to.
Mark Cuban made the comment about strong, intelligent women are never around Donald Trump, and I wanted to get your reaction to that.
Well, it's certainly not us, and it's certainly not my friends, because they can put sentences together, and you know who can't. The absurdity of the absurd in the absurdity is absurd. I mean,
of course.
Really. Yeah.
The queen of word salads herself, right?
She's referring to Kamala there, obviously, and she didn't want to say her by name, but she was close. She was close. She referred to her, but she didn't mention her by name. But she's mad too. That's a person surrounded by default, by Trump. You're going to call Maya Musk not intelligent or weak? Here's the other thing, too, how stupid this comment was. The other amazing thing about Trump was, and this is part of the visceral reaction why people think it's so ridiculous, and what a damaging statement it was to the Democrats that Mark Cuban made. Okay, talk about the women who have been closest to Trump, right? All of his ex-wives, and there's quite a few of them now, right? Ivana passed away, sadly. But there was Marla Maples. You've got Melania. All of them that have been married to him. The most amazing thing in the world, of all these ridiculous lawsuits and these stupid articles that came out to disparage his character, you know who's never, ever come out to say anything bad about him? The ex-wives. Never. Not once. That's one of the most telling things of all time. There have been distant cousins and the people that claim that, 35 years ago he, assaulted me in a dressing room at a department store. Oh, okay, and you're just coming out with this now. Right. But the people who are really close to him never say that kind of thing. And he's smart enough as a businessman to surround himself with some of the smartest women, like Alina Habba, in the world. I don't know what's with these surrogates with the Harris campaign, like Mark Cuban? It's like, or even like Biden, do they wake up in the morning and say, how can I destroy her campaign today? Because this reaction is the most beautiful thing in the world for women to be pissed off at what he said. Maybe that was the October surprise. I don't know. Unbelievable cultural difference zone. Thank you, Mark Cuban. I want to thank you for pointing that out to all of us. Because we were a little confused at first. Like, why do you say this about women? Well, you just proved why. Speaking of October, it's done. We're moving into November, and welcome to a brand new month. But you know what also is here? And I forgot about this because I dread it, but it's back. It's that time of the year. Daylight savings time ends early Sunday morning. Get ready for it. 2 a.m. becomes 1 a.m. There's a new poll. You know, I love my social surveys. I love to see how people feel about this, and this was good news because we're not there yet. but we're getting closer to getting rid of this thing. 28% of people said they are not looking forward to this course. 41% of people said, nah, I don't care, I just adjust. But 23% of people said they're looking forward to it, to a time change. Who are you, animals? Who are you, people? I want to know who you are. But 63% of people said they'd like to see the clock changing twice a year absolutely abolished. This is one of those YouGov polls. Not scientific, but still, it's an indicator. 63% of people, we're getting there. Every year it ticks up a little bit to make it just one thing. I don't care whether you pick daylight saving time. I don't care whether you regular standard time. I don't care what it is. I don't care. Somebody pick a time and just keep it steady. Please. We don't need the change anymore, all right? This isn't the 1800s anymore. We need more daylight to farm the potatoes. We're okay. Somebody just pick a time. And if you think it's just me saying this, it's not. Every single year, and we'll talk about this on Monday, the accident rates go up and the crime rates go up. People get crazy when you take an hour away from them. I can tell you this personally. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning for 30 years for radio. Personally, I want to see if this affects me this time. It may not. I don't know. Maybe I don't care anymore. But, man, this used to throw me off. Or it always traditionally has thrown me off for like 2 weeks, that time change. I am fully in favor of getting rid of it. Pick one. I don't care if it's this one coming up. I don't care if it's the daylight one. Whatever it is. Somebody pick a steady time so then we don't have to change anymore. Done with this. All right. A lot of politics, a lot of consternation, a lot of anger. Even though it's good anger, we're going to talk about a feel-good story, and I think this is good. So this is actually kind of sort of related to Halloween. Man, if you've got extra Halloween candy, and boy do I, bought the jumbo bags because, I was preparing because it's like I have it built in my head as a homeowner. You don't want to run out of candy. Can't have the house egged or toilet papered by these little kids. Because last year we had a ton. It was close. Didn't run out of candy, but we had a ton of kids. So I overbought. Did you ever do that? I overbought candy. Too much. Giant jumbo bags of little miniatures. So I'm stuck with too much candy. Well, if you go to an office every day, you can bring that in to get rid of it because you don't want to be stuck with it, right? Because you're going to wind up eating it and all that stuff. Here's an idea. If you've got a ton of leftover Halloween candy, here's a way to get rid of it that won't make you gain weight. Is a program called Cash for Candy. And they're actually going to pay you $10 a pound and send it to troops overseas. You can check out the website. It's called healthywage.com. And then there's a link there for Cash for Candy, healthywage.com. And the link is Cash for Candy. Get it to the troops and make some money off it. Now, you can also traditionally, you don't actually have to do it where you get money. You can go to Forgotten Soldiers Outreach, or those are, you can send it out and not get paid for it. But there's all kinds of things you can do if you got an unopened, big, giant jumbo bag of candy, either this one or something else. You won't get fat. And then this one, maybe you get $10. I don't know. Or even more if you overbought like I did. It's also the weekend. Let's talk about some weekend stuff. There's new movies out this weekend, a lot of them. November is the start of a big winter holiday season. I think mainly because in the northern states and the Midwest states, the weather starts to get really crappy and people are looking for something to do to get out of the house. And a theater is still inside. So here's what you can waste your money on. Here are the new titles. Something called Hit Pig. It's animated. Maybe the kids want this. Jason Sudeikis is Hit Pig. He's a bounty hunter who catches escaped animals and returns them to their owners. Okay, not so much. Here, Tom Hanks is out with a new one. Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. She's back, reuniting with their Forrest Gump director, Robert Zemeckis. It takes place in a single room over 100 years, and the camera doesn't move at all. That sounds like that would drive me crazy. Okay, new Tom Hanks if you're into it. Blitz. This is when Germans start bombing London for World War II. If you want a a war drama. A real pain. Jesse Eisenberg wrote and directed this one. It's a movie where he and Kieran Culkin play cousins who reunite for a Holocaust tour through Poland to honor their grandmother. Doesn't exactly sound like a date movie, but I thought this was interesting. You know who else is back? Absolution, starring Liam Neeson. Now, he's an aging boxer, and he's working as a hired muscle for a crime boss who's Ron Perlman. His health is deteriorating because he took too many hits to the squash. But he tries to reconnect with his family and starts making riskier decisions. There's a little cut of Absolution. Liam Neeson's back.
I don't know why I'm here, but let me help you. You're gonna hear some bad things about me.
I think the Liam Neeson era is kind of over as far as like, because he goes into like, remember the movie Taken? I have a special set of skills. Great actor, and I love him, but it's kind of like he kind of plays that same character all the time. He's a great actor, but I don't know. You want to waste $10 a ticket on that one? Go ahead and have some fun. But it is the weekend. Everybody have a great, awesome, cool weekend. Remember, it's okay to get pissed off when people insult your mom, your wife, or yourself. Don't take it out with violence, but we fight with words these days and information, and that's a good thing. That's a number one takeaway. Thanks for finding me, too. On the audio podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I should say, and on iHeart. And we're live now, but this always lives as a post and a replay on X and on YouTube as well. Thanks for finding me. It's been so much fun to grow this thing. I appreciate it so much. Very much, in fact. All right? Don't let any lefty insult the women in your life. That's our first takeaway. And this is kind of related. The second takeaway, as always, and this is our constant, don't ever take any crap from anybody, especially Mark Cuban. Have an awesome weekend. We'll catch up on Monday. It'll be a crazy week next week. We'll talk to you soon. Have a wicked awesome weekend.